Elon Musk loves to stir up trouble. It was one of the worst things about his short time as Twitter's owner. Musk has done nothing but irritate his supposed enemies inside and outside of Twitter. He fought a legal battle before the purchase was even finalized. His management choices caused chaos. He has no respect for federal regulators, and he is still trying to be internet troll king. Here is everything about Elon Musk versus Apple. Who will win? Musk decided to go to war with Apple Incorporated, one of the world's biggest companies, if not the biggest. And this is a fight he has no chance of winning. Musk can't use the law, shame the public, or burn money to get Apple to save Twitter from the damage he has done to the company. Musk's latest fight started with bad news about advertising, like so many others in the last 2 months. Musk wrote that Apple had mostly stopped advertising on Twitter. This is terrible news for a social media site whose $5 billion in annual advertising revenue has already taken a big hit. Apple was the biggest advertiser on Twitter in the first 3 months of 2022. It spent $48 million on ads on the social network, which was more than 4% of Twitter's revenue during that time. Moving away from Twitter, Apple is a big problem for Musk and Twitter. Average CEOs would have their top advertising executives call their contacts at Apple to make things better. Unfortunately, the person on Twitter who would have been responsible for doing that quit soon after Musk took over. Over half of the lawyers working for him have also left. Those lawyers who were leaving probably would have told Musk not to end his tweet about Apple by asking, "Do they hate free speech in America?" Musk then tweeted Apple CEO Tim Cook asking, "What's going on here? Try to find the flaw in this plan. From where I'm sitting, Musk is trying to get Apple to buy more Twitter ads by tagging the company's CEO and encouraging his most hateful fans to flood Cook's mentions with negative comments. And what will that do? Show Apple how great Twitter is when he is in charge. And to that, I say, good luck with that." Musk later said that Apple hasn't just spent less on advertising for Twitter and threatened Twitter's access to the App Store. Apple has not shown any proof that it has made such a threat. But there is evidence that Apple and Google were worried about how Twitter moderated hate speech and other content before Musk took over and made it easier for hate speech and other forms of harassment to get through. Before he quit earlier this month, Yoel Roth was in charge of trust and safety at Twitter. He said that Apple and Google regularly raise concerns about the content on our platform. Roth also said that not following Apple's and Google's rules would be disastrous. He said that if Twitter were kicked out of the app stores, it would be harder for billions of potential users to get Twitter's services. Even though Musk and his fans say otherwise, the changes he's made so far make it more likely that the App Store reviewers will want to get rid of Twitter. It is said that blocking child on Twitter, which used to be done by a team of people, is now done by just one person. And Musk's large-scale amnesty for accounts that had been banned before has opened the floodgates and let racist trolls go back to their old ways. Musk keeps talking about Apple's censorship, even though he says he is about to release Twitter's files on free speech suppression. He was also surprised when he heard that most of Apple's employees gave money to Democrats in the midterm elections. Wow, they don't sound biased at all, he said, but he didn't mention that the same source showed that nearly as many of Tesla's employees did the same. He also doesn't say that he told people on Twitter to vote for Republicans in the same midterm elections. He still plays the "I'm just a moderate asking questions" card, but we can see that he's spending more time with people on the far right who say nice things about him. This attack on Apple is also an example of Musk supporting a popular right-wing claim. Big tech is inherently biased against conservatives, and Republicans are starting to understand what he is trying to say. Ron DeSantis said that removing Twitter from Apple's App Store would be a huge mistake, and it would be a raw exercise of monopolistic power that would deserve a response from the United States Congress. This is not a defense of how much power Apple and Google have over the internet through their app stores, which is a lot for just 2 companies to have. Musk is even correct that it's crazy that Apple gets a 30% cut of in-app purchases on iOS, which Epic Games sued the company over. But again, let's be clear, there's no proof that Apple threatened to ban Twitter from the App Store. But even if it did, it would have more to do with Musk's choices while running Twitter than with any partisan or ideological censorship on Apple's part. Musk has, in effect, blamed Apple for all his mistakes while running Twitter. By doing this, he is using the energy of the movement to break up big tech. But Musk doesn't seem to know or care that he's part of big tech. He's trying to start a culture war with 2 sides in this crusade. It's also not a war that he's likely to win since Apple has the power to break Twitter even faster than Musk can. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, click the like and the bell buttons. We'll have another video for you soon. Take care until then.